Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Central Scotland. Welcome to another Simple Sundays project, and it's this one here, a quick and easy Halloween gift box. Doesn't need a lot of materials at all, a piece of cardstock, a piece of DSP and a little bit of card for the sentiment with a little bit of ribbon and some embellishments, and that's it. So the finished dimensions of the box actually are 4 inches by 4 inches by 1 inch, and I will just double check that in centimetres. Just under 10.2 by 10.2 by about 2.5 depth, so not a big box at all. My plan for this box is to pop in some sherbet lemons, which I do have on order, due for delivery today as I'm filming this, from a well-known online retailer who do next day delivery, but they're not here yet. So I thought that was quite fitting for a Halloween sweetie box, and as I say, you get quite a few in there, but that's what's going in mine. So I'm going to get straight on and show you how to make it, because I'm trying very hard to yap less and make my videos a little bit shorter, although some of the ladies who watch my videos like my yapping, but I'm not going to do it this time. So you'll need a piece of cardstock which measures just under 6 inches by 6 inches, or 5 and 15/16 by 5 and 15/16. So measure it up to 6 inches by 6 inches and then just pull it back a little bit and take off that 1/16 of an inch. And in centimetres I would cut the cardstock to 15 by 15. And then you'll need a piece of designer series paper which measures 6 inches by 6 inches, or 15.3 centimetres by 15.3, and you'll need a scrap of cardstock just to stamp your sentiment. And this is grey granite, or is it smoky slate? I can't remember now. It's one or t'other, but it's grey anyway, but I'm sure it's grey granite. So let's do some scoring. Pop a little bit of cardstock to the side. I'm trying to get my scoreboard without whacking the tripod, which I never managed to do. So you're going to score both pieces, the cardstock and the paper, at 1 inch on all 4 sides, or in centimetres that would be 2.5 centimetres. And I have made a prototype. I don't always, but sometimes, quite often actually, I make a prototype just to check the centimetres as well. So I have made one using those centimetre measurements, which I'll show you just in a second once I get rid of the scoreboard and hopefully not hit the tripod. So I used very, very old Halloween designer series paper. This is probably from about 3 or 4 years ago anyway. So the centimetres do work, but I do like to check just to make sure. So before we do anything else, because this is 6 by 6, I'm going to mark the halfway point. It measures 15.3 centimetres, so just line it up on your grid paper at 6.6, or try and find the midway point in your centimetres, just to keep you right for your finger notches, which is what I'm making these little marks for. So on this box here, I actually put the finger notches at the side, but because they're not guaranteed to be exactly even, I don't like the way the ribbon looks a bit squint compared to the finger notch, because obviously I wanted the ribbon in the middle of my box. So I'm going to have the ribbon going that way, but on this box this time I'm going to put the finger notches top and bottom where my pattern's running, so top and bottom here. And because we don't have smaller circle punches now, I'm actually going to use my snowman builder punch, which needs a good clean, and I'm just going to use his head to punch out whatever size of finger notch I want before I do any folding or burnishing. So about there. Doesn't have to be perfect because they're not both on the same side anyway. So fold and burnish on all your score lines on both the lid and the base. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to remind you actually that we still have our 15% off designer series paper sale running for another not quite a week, but about 6 days I think from when you're seeing this video. So this magic in this night designer series paper, and I didn't tell you what it was, is in that sale. So I'm certainly going to stock up before the sale finishes, because there are 15 papers in the sale with 15% off, and as I say, this DSP is certainly one of them. And while I'm cutting these corners, what we're doing is, as always, keeping the straight edge on this long rectangle and cutting the score line off onto this corner section here, and then notching and then turning round each time we cut, so that we've got one corner on each side of the box. And this is basic black cardstock, but if you join as a demonstrator, then you'll get the benefit of that 15% off the DSP as well for your £130 worth of stuff, and you know that you only pay £99 for your starter kit, so it is going to let you get a little bit more for your money. And just again, while I'm cutting the corners on my lid here, just to say that I'll put a link to all the products I've used in the description bar below, including the code numbers for them, so that if you do want to buy them, you can get a link straight to my shop, which will also be in the description bar below. And if you have any questions, then just feel free to get in touch, and my contact details are also in the description bar below as well. There we are. So that's all our corners cut, and then I'm going to get brave again and have a go with my Seal Plus. So I'm trying to pay attention to my technique and not put it too close to the edge of my cardstock and not lean too heavily. I've kind of overshot the corner a little bit on here, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. And it's a case of just breaking off the corners. If you can see, I don't know if you can, on here there's lots of little individual bits of glue all stuck together. I'm hoping that by moving that around with the light you'll be able to see that. So it does break quite easily, and I'm just going to use the same for putting my lid together. I had a lovely comment on one of last week's videos, or maybe it was one of this week's videos, from a lady saying that she appreciated my honesty when I said that I don't get on with Seal Plus. We don't always get on, just like I didn't always get on with our fast fuse, but we did make friends eventually, and I am friends with Seal Plus for the most part, but I do find it tricky sometimes, but that is more to do with my technique. So I really appreciated her comment saying that she appreciated my honesty about it, but I do want to make it clear that I'm not saying that Seal Plus isn't good, because it absolutely does the job it's meant to do. It's me that doesn't get on with it, but as you can see from quite a few videos I've done now, I do keep trying, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I've just folded the corners together while I've been chatting, and it's straight edge to folded edge, and I'm just going to fold over anything that's overlapping at the sides. Oops. So straight edge to folded edge to join all these corners together. There we are. And then I always like to make sure that they're well stuck, especially down that corner side where the fold is, so that I've got a nice crisp corner on my box and on my lid, so that they stick together easily, or that they go together easily. No, I don't want the base and the lid to stick together. And I like the underside of this paper, so you've even got a pretty design on the inside as well. And if you notice any furry little corners on your box, you can just come along with your snips and just snip them off. But do be careful, because you don't actually want to cut into the corners of your box. And then the moment of truth, as always, is when you actually try to put the lid on the box, and there we are. You really want it to be a tight fit, but not too tight so that you're having to squeeze the box in to make it fit, But what you do want to hear, if I just do this again, is that noise just as the box slides together, and the base isn't going to fall out. So I tied a piece of ribbon excuse me, and it's actually our shimmer ribbon, and this is a grey granite, and I just cut off enough to tie a bow round the middle of the box. So about there, and hopefully we'll be able to tie a bow today. Bows have not been my thing recently, but hopefully today we'll have some success. And I'm not worried about the positioning of the box, on the box rather, at the minute. I'll do that, I'll fix that once I've actually tied my bow. So I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to tie my bow and see what happens after that. So in terms of the tails, they're going every which way, but actually I'm just going to leave it like that, because I could faff and faff and faff. I'm going to tie that again because one of my loops is twisted, but otherwise I'm not going to worry, because the minute it goes wrong and you start redoing it and redoing it and redoing it, you just get yourself all perturbed and upset. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tie it, and I'm going to leave it alone this time. So my loops are better, my tails aren't, but I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm going to tie a tail there, or cut rather a tail there. So these are a little bit longer. I might pull that back just a little bit and trim just a little bit more, because I don't want them too long. Excuse me, I really have a frog in my throat today. So that's my box together. I'm much happier with not having this sort of uneven look on the sides, and my finger notches are top and bottom. And to be honest, certainly I do. I open a box that way anyway, so I guess the finger notches are in a better place. So to stamp my sentiment, I used one of the stamp sets in the Itty Bitty Greetings stamps. It's a 2-stamp set, or a 2-box set, and I just used this little trick or treat here. As you can see, that's the only stamp I've actually used out of here so far. So I'm just going to pop that onto a block, and I'm going to get my scrap of grey, I'm sure it's grey granite, and my Memento ink. Now I'm actually going to straighten that up a little bit, because what I am going to do is I'm going to try and stamp this close to the bottom. Now I can't actually see, so I'm going to stamp it up a little bit, because it's not straight, but that's okay, because I'm going to be brave again with my big scissors. It's a very brave day today. And I've actually treated myself to some new scissors, and I know they look huge, but I seem to be getting on better with these, she said. I better not say that too soon. So, no, did say it too soon. Let's just cut this, and then I can even up that bottom bit. So that looks straight enough along the top, apart from that little curly edge there. And I'm just going to trim that down a bit here, and trim that down a bit here. It's not too bad. I'm not going to faff anymore with that. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to put you through waiting till I do it 1,000 times over. But do you like these? Look, they're quite iridescent, if that's the word. So what I did was I cut, you'll see I've cut the edge off of here, so I just cut a strip of the edge part of my black mini dimensionals, so never waste a bit of your dimensionals at all. So I just want to take the backing off of there, pop that on the back like so, in the middle as far as I can manage it, and then just pop that onto my box. and I pop that down into the bottom corner, but actually I want to be able to see that bat, so I'm actually going to put this one in this corner instead, and I'm hoping that's straight, or as straight as I can manage it for now. And then I've lost my I think I've tidied them away actually, which isn't like me, so bear with me till I get them back out again, because I'm looking for my metallic pearls, which I keep in one of our wooden stamp cases. I keep all my pearls together and all my rhinestones together in a box. So instead of adding them to the box, oops, which I did do and I didn't like, I took them off again, I actually decided I would add them to my ribbon. And given that they're on the opposite side to my sentiment, I'll pop these ones on the opposite side on this box just to mix it up a little bit. Oops a daisy, come here. And again, I'm not right over the top, so I'm really hoping they're straight. They probably could have been a little bit more central, but I'm not going to worry too much. And that's it for today. That's my trick or treat box. Later, when my sherbet lemons arrive, oops, I've got a pearl under my thumbnail as well. When my sherbet lemons arrive, I'm going to pop some in, both of these, and I might take these into work for my colleagues. So, quick and easy today. Thanks for watching. As I say, all the links to the products that I've used and a link to my shop will be underneath. And remember, this DSP is one of the 15 that are still in the 15% off sale. So, thanks for watching, take care, and until I see you next time, bye for now.